Welcome back to the European Closed Qualifier for IEM Chicago 2018 Snods. Off to a good start. ENCE were able to overthrow the Space Soldiers in overtime, so they won't be ascending all the way to the moon today. Does mean we are going to be diving into Mirage, our second map. What are your current thoughts on that one?
Obviously, Nuke into overtime, as you said. That was the map pick, though, from ENCE. And with Space Soldiers choosing the side on the CT side, the 11-4 half, we thought, okay, this could be the upset here for Space Soldiers. I say upset, but winning their opposition's map pick, right? You could argue that's an upset in itself. Space Soldiers on Nuke, not map they're too notorious for. So yeah, coming into Mirage, obviously the last map being Inferno as well. I think these last two maps do favour Space Soldiers, so I could definitely see a 2-1 win in favour of Space Soldiers. What about yourself?
I thought it was going to go a 2-1 either way, really. But, you know, I think this has to be a full best of 3. It just seems like that with these two teams. I got to say right now, I'm feeling like ENCE should be able to pick it up. They look good across the board. Everyone seems to be firing from all cylinders. Like, the whole squad looked pretty effective. Space Soldiers, it was hit and miss with who was going to be able to step up to the mark. Sort of staggered. One player would step up now and then. And also, the big cheese himself was quite quiet. We only saw Xantares really come back into his true sort of form at the end of the game. The majority of the game, he was sort of more just that supportive role. It was really Paz and Major, who are not the two sort of men you expect to be the big dog sort of carrying the whole team. Yeah,
I mean, typically when you expect, or when you look at Space Soldiers on paper, it's always going to be Xantares first, Calyx second as their entry, second in sort of duo as the firepower, especially on the terrorist side as well. When you have Paz and Major top fragging, that is quite an alarming issue, because you have Paz, more of a supported player, who wasn't even AWPing on the CT side. It was Major instead towards outside. So that's another question of, is that map dependent on who is the primary AWPer on the CT side, Paz or Major? Or is it just a turnaround in terms of the roles? We don't know that just yet. Obviously, they have gone on a bit of a hiatus within the past, what month and a half sort of time. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, coming into Mirage here, obviously, if Calyx and Xantares are firing off on all cylinders, especially Mirage, it is the home map for Xantares. I think this is going to a third map. If it's ENCE's third map, if it's obviously Space Soldier's third map, that's what's to be decided.
Yeah, that'll be interesting if we do get to that point, but obviously it's yet to be seen who will win on Mirage. As you said, Space Soldiers definitely can perform on this map. It's where they feel comfortable. That's why they've picked it. They're walking into it and expecting to try and lock this down. It seemed to bode well to be a 2-0 for them, but obviously overtime win. ENCE just picked it back up and really went from strength to strength, I think it's fair to say, in that matchup. They just got better as time went on.
Yeah, they warmed up to it, right? Obviously, first matchup of the day, 11 o'clock in the morning or 10 o'clock in the morning. Have they done their, intricate warm-up? Probably not. So let's see. I believe the next game's ready.
Yeah, it seems like it. Let's get into it as it is Mirage. Space Soldiers on the T side. ENCE will be your CTs. Let's kick this one off, Snots.
Yeah, obviously for Space Soldiers into this one, into this best of 3, down a map already after losing, as you said, overtime on Nuke. And Xantares already going to be dropped over the P250 by Major as the push comes in towards the A site. 1 player towards Palace, 4 going to be flooding out through ramp as the tag already down to Aerial onto 29 points of health as the bomb is planted for jungle, planted for connector, exactly where Major and Space Soldiers are. This has to be a round win for Space Soldiers.
They fanned out as well. They're in their post plants now. They can try and hold these angles and defend against the push when it comes back around. Aerial and Co are all grouped up. That's a 3-player push from CT. Actually 4 players. They're all going in as they're going to funnel their way through. Alexa is able to get the trade back over on Xantares. X7 gets into the thick of it and waddles his way around the bomb site, trying to find the kill. Wanted to stop the man playing from ramp. That is Paz, who's now just charging towards them. Calyx, actually, rather, as he switches out to USB. Wants to go for the backstab. Denies the bomb disposal. That is no time left. He's going to jump on it, surely. Can't get it to be in the nick of the last second. Oh, doesn't matter. Space Soldiers, they win it off the back of a backstab from Calyx, the butcher with a blade.
And there you have it. Space Soldiers once again going to be winning the opening pistol round in this second map as well. Surprised to see how close that round really was, though. When you look at the after plant of the bomb, bombs planted the front of triple, or the side of triple, should I say, planted for connector, planted for jungle. You had Major in connector, 2 or 3 players from Space Soldiers in towards jungle. At that point, the round is pretty much all said and done, but still, ENCE, they land the headshots. Xantares over peeking towards Palace, going down to Alexeb, opening up that half of the map. So, is that a bad sign going forward for Space Soldiers? Are they crumbling in their afterplants, or was it just a little bit of a hiccup?
It's just the decision-making there as well, obviously. No ammo, just whip out the blade, sprint straight in, hit him with a Ramsey.
Oh dear, London slang. Back out the Gordon Ramsay.
bag the Ramsey, bag the Ramsey. Deagle play coming in though, trying to peek up towards top mid. Doesn't work out too well for ENCE. The shake-up has not shook up too much. Space Soldier has been able to hold strong. Major is down to just 2 HP though. So he is going to need to just attempt to stay alive rather than actually falter and lose all the utility he's carrying in his goodie bag. As it is 3 players in ENCE that are left standing. Aerial, Alu, and Alexib. The 3 A-star members of ENCE with the A's.
5 versus 3 in favor of Space Soldiers. Ooh, make it a 4 versus 3 now though, as the Aerial finds one with the push in towards T-spawn. Eventually they're going to be traded out by Paz, so once again we see the advantage here in favor of the team that won the pistol with the weaponry, with the utility, and the rifles and SMGs in their favor. Alu going to be the only player not fully investing, as he has got the P250 and Kevlar, so he can afford the open to the next buy round. Although this position, if it doesn't get cleared out soon, could wreak havoc. But eventually just going to fall in the favor of Space Soldiers, 2-0, and we're back on camera.
We're back, mate.
We're back.
Yeah, this is what people want to see.
Exactly.
Obviously.
We're just teasing the fans at home. Only 2 rounds to be shown. The rest of it's off stream. No, I'm joking, obviously.
That's the end of the game.
Yeah, that's the end.
It's the new rules.
Anyway, yeah, cheers.
Them on
Yeah,
free.
yeah.
Yeah, it's done for now.
That was overtime. Did you not realise?
We're switching up the format. It's CGS rules.
Gosh, yeah, CGS back in source. Everyone starts the game. What was it like?
You've all got 16k.
Yeah.
It's all going to be third person. You know what? We're going to play 5 rounds.
So, into the full eco here from the CT side, stacking towards the A site, and right now that stack is the correct one. As they walk into the crosshair and Taras. So far only 2 players get seen, make it 3. But even then, no weaponry, no utility, not even any Kevlar. It's going to be hard to have an impact, but Sergey with 2.
Crouching Tiger, hidden Sergey. As he just walks out, finds the first kill with that USP like a sneaky little devil. And then it all falls to one man, Alu. Trapped, quaking in his little boots as he is going to be in the corner. No one puts Alu in a corner, Snods. Wait for him to come around. Well, actually, Calix puts Alu in a corner, in a body bag.
First buy around then of this second map in this best of 3. ENCE on the CT side have the cash to afford the open to Alu. 1 defuse kit as well for Sergey.
That's what I imagine a Scouse person would say, Alu.
Alu.
Alu. Mate.
Alu, yeah.
Alu, what are you doing? Get the ore, pal.
Maybe. Could you imagine a Scouse caster from Liverpool?
We'll get Amy down, it'll be fine. We can do analyst work.
Maybe. So, still a 5 versus 5. The connector control in favor of Space Soldiers. Usually it's Zentaras who comes up close here. Instead it's Paz. Maybe he's still feeling it after the last map on Nuke. So, Molotov in towards jungle. Going to be forcing back the peak from aerial. Double CT position here from both Alu and Sergey as they wait patiently for the push to come in towards the A site. They are smoked off, so vision impaired as the site now in the domain of Space Soldiers.
Site take coming through. They're going to fan out and try and lock down these angles, but Aerial works his way up. He's got the height and angle, had the drop on 2 of them as well as he hits them with the left-right. Takes them both down in a good old battle, leaving them in a 3 versus 4 now. The T's are going to be trapped, but Zentaras fights back. He does not like being put into a cage. Starts to lash out, tears down the first man with 1 foul swipe. Paz as well, waiting for this retake to come towards him. Suspects that X7 could try and sneak in there. Wants to give the murder hole its true name by screaming blood across the site, but unfortunately doesn't actually get that kill. Just tags him up, brings him down to 21 HP. Alexib is going to now know of his angle, but Zentaras, it does not matter. They peek him, and he just takes them down one after another. Paz as well. The cha-cha slide, slips out, finds that easy kill, goes back for seconds, gobbles him down, and that is a 4th round picked up for Space Soldiers.
4-0. $3,000 across the board here for ENCE as they are onto the $2,900 round loss bonus. So they can afford to go for CZs, Kevlar, some light utility as well, potentially. We saw them actually, well, essentially win the map with their CZs back on Nuke when it was 15-13. They charged up through lobby. So, can they try and replicate that once again? Deagles working on both sides of the map here towards middle and towards ramp. Aaron as well going to be chiming in with the CZ, but not before Engin has something to say.
Oh, Deegs out, lights out, coming out right now from ENCE. They're just lamping everyone in the face.
Oh.
The noggins are being ripped off, Snods, as the Deegs are just outrageous. Only 1 man remains, Calix. towards mid, a minute and 20 seconds on the clock. You might have a ton of time, but you don't really have much opportunity to work with. The bomb's down, it's surrounded by the CT forces. He's got so much in his back pocket as well. I'm surprised it even fits in. All that utility to carry. Most likely, you do just want to back off and try and go for a save, but it's a minute. It's going to be a long old time.
Well, you can go for the save, or does he try and get as many frags as he can to try and basically slowly and surely whittle down the CT side economy? That's already $5,000 taken out of the equation by finding the frag towards the T spawn, and each and every kill he does find not only makes his chances greater to win the round, but makes the damages even greater for ENCE buying up into that next round. But let's see, does he anticipate the push already from Alu? No, he doesn't. Flash comes in, peeks there, and it's Alu, not Alu. Don't know why I'm going all Scouser on you, but 4-1 here. ENCE only surviving with 2 players, but winning an eco always means you have additional cash in the bank, so not going to be scared or worried about being able to afford the full buy, as they already had a few thousand left in the tank, so they can afford, well, I was going to say the full buy, but Alu actually be lacking the AWP.
Yeah. Can't bring out the AWP, so it is the 5 rifle setup. A couple of them being the scavenged Kalashnikovs, the rest just being the M4s that have been brought to the table. Alu, though, he can still snipe with an AK, apparently, as he slays towards mid. And 2 of them hit the deck. Engen as well. Scared to death. He's scared to look. He's shook. He's going to backtrack over towards T-spawn. Wants nothing to do with that defiant play towards mid. And that's now one Ali attack essentially completely taken away from them just by an opening spray down from Alu. So big damage done.
Centaurus once again in towards Palace. Going to be going for the 1 versus 1s in towards the A side. No one currently playing towards jungle though, so the peak is going to come towards default. This Aerial, one of the other players or the shining stars of ENCE, all of the focal point was on Sergey. But Aerial is the second player that's been performing for ENCE, definitely turning a few heads. So far it's going to be the 5 versus 1. All kills going in favour of the Finnish team. As now we see a 4-2 scoreline, a pivotal round for ENCE to win, because if they were reset there, that could have been a substantial lead for Space Soldiers going forward.
It shows how much more of a hand ENCE have in being able to handle Space Soldiers as well when they actually have control of the round there in terms of the tempo slots. If they go for a fast-paced play, they tend to get a little bit overwhelmed. You can see ENCE aren't really as ready for it, but Alu slows down the push immediately. Not only finding that first frag, but then also being able to build off it by getting the spray down, the huge tag onto Engen as well. So everyone backtracks, they try to play a slower round. ENCE just completely understood how to dismantle them from that point. So that's what they need to be forcing them into. Aerial, though, oh, cheeky play. Now, with the timing, actually just got saved by the luck of that nade, or that could have been awful.
Easy frags being found here by ENCE. So far, only 1 casualty. Onto Alexa. And with that, 4 players staying alive. That's obviously pivotal for their money going forward. And actually, you can see that just by the amount of cash that Alu does have. $10,000 for him. Only 3 rounds, 1 in a row. 6,000 for Sergey, 7,000 as well for Alexeb. So going forward, Space Soldiers need to be chaining rounds together if they want a chance of forcing out the ecos or the weaker buys from ENCE. But let's see. AWP now in the hands of Alu, as Space Soldiers go for more of a passive play towards middle. But maybe ENCE are walking into that trap as Aerial gets ever closer towards top mid.
Calyx has actually backed off, though. He's gone back over towards T-spawn, so he isn't just holding the close angle. Obviously, ENCE did go for the mid-push once before. That's why Major is still dubious about it and holding it. Because if you know someone's going to pull it out once, it's more than likely it's going to get rinsed and repeated. So you just want to dedicate that extra time to hold towards top mid. They slowly start to get a bit closer, looking to try and go for the pincer play, the split push in towards the A-bomb site into the late round here once the time starts to tick away a little bit more. As the round develops, Paz, Molotov gets chucked in to try to force him out of his position. He can just push back. This is where the true play goes down, towards mid. They all burst out. Alu with the Overwatch support there, playing for Connector, finds the first kill with the AWP. Aerial gets a double kill as well. Round's as good as over.
This guy, Aerial, is crisp with this M4. Let's see then. Can Centaurus and Paz pick up the pieces as they come charging through Palace and Ramp to find a killer piece? 2 versus 3, 45 seconds left. The bomb is dropped in the hands of ENCE towards top middle, so that's where Paz on a recovery mission to try and find that one. Has to win the 1 versus 1 versus Aerial before the bomb can even be thought about. With 30 seconds left, you have to retrieve the bomb, kill Aerial, and then get their way towards the bomb site, it seems very, very unlikely.
Winning this round is going to be like they're in a puzzle with no edges. It's going to be incredibly frustrating and rather hard. They do try and go for the push though as they sprint their way around. Xantares tagged down quite heavily. Paz just standing in the Molotov, soaking up the damage. Things don't go too well. It's a trade kill. He realizes it's too late. Cut your losses, backtrack, get out of there. At least keep one AK alive because the cash has been terminated. The team has been terminated. Things aren't looking great.
Does survive with the AK. However, the cash isn't quite so similar across the board here for Space Soldiers. Xantares with the AK, but no one else in his team able to afford the AK buy. So they are just going to be going for the quasi-buy. 3 sets of armor. Oh, apologies. 2 sets of armor. 1 Deagle, 3 CZs, and obviously the saved AK from Xantares going back towards Palace once again. Sergej with the early smoke in towards Palace. We have Major here towards Underpass, but apart from that, the rest of Space Soldiers positioned towards the A ramp, getting ready for an A execution. Xantares maybe hearing the steps there towards the balcony, trying to spam through the smoke and catch Sergej off guard, but he does telegraph exactly where he is.
It's going to be lit up like a firework as he sits under there, taking a little bit of damage. Obviously loses 4 HP from the spread of the Molotov, but is able to find the initial kill. They now know his angle, but he still fights through the pain. The bloodlust was in effect, Snarks, he punishes them all, brings it back down. It's just a 2 versus 3. Make it a 1v3 with a backstab potential. Wiz on the card. Major. If he would have got the flick shot adjustment, takedown Alexib, maybe there could have been more to be done. It would have been a 1 versus 1. He would have had a weapon, but that's all hearsay. That's all things that could have happened. In reality, he loses the fight. The ENCE get another round. They've got the advantage. That is a 4-5 scoreline now in the first half, as ENCE maybe start to assert dominance on their CT side.
It's looking so. 5 rounds, 1 in a row for ENCE. So far, a big lack of mid-control from Space Soldiers. They're grouping up towards ramp. They're grouping up towards Palace, and they're coming in towards the A site in quite a one-dimensional fashion. The times they have gone towards middle, the first buy round they won once they got Paz in connector. But apart from that, they've been shot down by Alu, shot down by Aerial as well, in towards the middle vicinity of the map. As once again, they play the slow game. Paz this time in towards Palace, Xantares in towards ramps. They have gone for old switcheroo. So, if you're ENCE right now, you know that Xantares is constantly going in towards Palace. You shouldn't be playing, well, if you are going to play towards jungle, maybe AWP it, which is where Alu is with the AWP in towards window. And speaking of middle, Space Soldiers going for the late mid-tank with a minute left on the clock.
That's the change of pace in effect. Aerial spots out a foot there. Should have been able to see that, as he is going to back off. Might have the info, going to relay that from his teammates. The smokes go in to try to slow down the push. They want to attempt to deviate from the plan that could be in effect, but Xantares knows now is the time to strike. Gets the first hit, but Alu fires back through. Paz as well exit out as Major bounds up onto the scene and leaps into effect, but it's not going well. They're peeking out 1 by 1, Snots. There's no trade potential, and it's all gone out of the window. Nothing goes right there for Space Soldiers at all. That was just an ENCE domination, really, in terms of the round. They peaked 1 by 1. ENCE are able to find the easy pickings, find the trade frags. They had a complete hand on the situation the entire time, and that's now a 6-4 scoreline. They're just building off that a little bit more each time. They still have cash to reinvest, though, so Space Soldiers, what are they going to do here into round 11, Snots?
It's got to be mid-control. It has to be. So far for ENCE, they're able to have players in connector. And players just exploiting them towards the A site as well. All things going in favour of the Finnish team, but maybe not this one. So far the advantage in favour of the Turks. This is Paz to find a second frag and a second entry of that towards the A site. Alexib, they're trying to see if he can equalise the numbers, but as Xantares, the star of the show, the star of the team, to silence that dream. Oof, now 1 versus 2. This is winnable.
This is winnable. This could be a big CT round, actually, for X7. Nope, no chance. Engine slides out on short. He had the angle, spots him out, and that is going to be the killing blow. And also, a little bit of a silencing blow for a second there for ENCE as well. A bit of an upset round coming in. Space Soldiers, they can build off this. It's going to give them confidence, which is what they need. Normally, they're more effective on that T side as well. It can be at their most explosive. They are absolute mean machines when they've got this AK in their hands, especially players like Xantares. We just need to see a little bit more of that ferocity come out of them, Snots.
Well, so far it feels more like Paz.
Yeah, Paz has been incredible today.
Yeah, Major 30 kills on the last map, Paz 25. But let's see, the MAC-10 here from Major. Charge and bounds his way through in towards the B site, catching X7 off guard early on. And the smokes do land as well, which will shroud the vision and allow the site to be in the hands of Space Soldiers. All down to the retake now from ENCE.
The Major Mac Daddy. Let's see if he can carry it on. Alexib tries to go for the peak, shoots through the smoke, but nothing is going to work out his way. Just a small tag. Look at the rest of the ENCE squad as well, scurrying like ants. They're getting out of there.
Yeah, you saw the instant call there to go for the save. Throwing in the towel there is going to be keeping their weaponry in for the next round. And what are they going to have for it? If Alu saves, he can drop over a weapon. Arid as well needs to save so he can drop over a weapon. So he's quite aggressive here playing in towards Connector, because if he goes down to Calyx, that might mean maybe a UMP for the CT side next round. He's getting tagged down to 55. But eventually, going to be going for the smarter play. Can't get too greedy to get numbers on the scoreboard. You have to look at the greater picture.
Yeah.
So, round number 13, 6-6. So far, a very, very even and close best of 3 on both these matchups. Tactical pause going to be coming in, so let's see what impact their new in-game leader, excuse me, their new coach, Twister, previously from my game, announced about an hour and a half ago. Now he has 30 seconds in the limelight to try and see if he can, well, work out how they can counter Space Soldiers.
It's actually super pivotal as well. Not just for the normal reason, the fact they needed all 3 of those players to save for the weapons, but for especially what they're going to go for here. They've opted to go for the double AWP setup, so it's so crazy that he actually was trying to play that confident from Connector as well. As soon as you got that first frag, just fall back, just call it quits. But either way, it worked out in this manner. Alu and Alexib rocking the AWP, the rest of them are rifles, good utility, they've all got kits, they've all got armor, they're healthy, but this round is super important now, Snots.
Super important indeed. For ENCE, if they lose this one, they're going to be down to pistols. Opening pick once again from Alu with the AWP in towards window. Space Soldiers peeking before the smoke even blooms. The boost as well towards short catches another player off guard, and in the meantime towards the A site, X7 with even more kills. So far, 5 versus 1. As through the smokes, and Tares gets silenced once again. And a round which was a must-win for ENCE seems like they pull it through by the skin of their teeth.
Offense is the best defense, Snots. They played with confidence into that one. Alu, you know, we know how effective he can be with an AWP towards mid. He's been playing with confidence. He's been finding early kills with an AK. You put him back in his home turf with a weapon he made a name for himself with. Obviously, he's going to find those kills, and everyone picks up. I mean, it'd be the team ace if Alexib was actually able to find Major, and he is going over towards his bomb site. He's trying to get a cheeky little late plant on the site, see if he can sneak in. Could be the team ace here.
I'm not losing my mind, am I, when I see that Alexib has no weapon?
He does just have a P250.
But Ariel has $3,900, so he could have dropped him.
This is the thing. That's why I was looking at the cash in that prior round. I thought they'd gone for the double AWP setup. Wait. Oh, he's dropped his AWP. He doesn't want to lose his AWP. He doesn't,
no, he doesn't want to lose it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was really confused what had happened to that second AWP for a second there.
Fair play. He could have held the angle though and got the kill.
Yeah.
And now he's going to die for it. So there goes $4,000. Anyway.
Could have just killed him with the AWP.
Could have just killed him with the AWP, but 1 versus 4, then Major, 20 seconds left. Let's find another frag here to turn this into the 1 versus 2.
How does this round become so costly?
Finish the job, and it does. So that round could have been scot-free, each player just soaking up that round win bonus of $3,500, and then you have Lexep who drops his AWP to hold a very long angle with the P250. Alu goes down, I believe as well, X7 goes down, so that's what, $15,000 just been pissed into the wind.
It's like you've won the lottery and you've gone, I know this is the winning ticket, but just to be sure I don't lose it, I'm going to put it under this rock and come back for it later. And then you come back and the ticket's gone.
Yeah, there's been a hurricane.
Yeah.
You've lost.
Someone's left the ground there, so you know you would have won $1 million, but instead you've got a grand.
Well,
swings and roundabouts.
Swings, yeah. Tomatoes, tomatoes.
Yeah.
Same thing, really, isn't it? But 7-6, ENCE bringing this one back. Sergey finds one, tries another second as well. The pre-fire, but only good enough for one.
Big man Alu starting to come out once again, showing off the big guns. Has the upper hand into this round as he will hit a couple of nice shots. Aerial as well, ignites Antares. He normally leaves a blaze of glory behind him, but this time he goes up in smoke. And that is an 8th round for ENCE. 6-8 being the scoreline as we get to the final round of the first half here on Mirage.
8-6. ENCE so far, 16 frags for Aerial, 13 for Sergey. So these are the players that you want to be performing if you are ENCE. For Space Soldiers into the final round, all they have is the Mac 10 for Major. 3 Desert Eagles and 1 CZ. Obviously, with the Desert Eagles, very good at the start of the round to find picks, but as the time does tick away, they get less and less effective. Ooh, the Jawley's coming out for Elective as well. I know, got a bit of swagger.
That was flashy.
That was pretty flashy. Fair play.
It gives you a plus 5% skill.
Yeah, coming to a frag movie near you.
See you soon.
So, 5 versus 4, and all it is now is a Mac 10 for Engen.
And Ali with the AWP, still getting picks, still roaming around, being able to find these frags. Just Calyx, Paz, and Engen that remain. There's the Deagle damage that we expect to see coming out. Paz with 1, tries to get the second quick tap off. Couldn't quite muster it up. Instead, though, Alexib has been just completely owned there by the Deagle. You can just hear that roaring tap at a 50 cal. They're getting pushed. Finally, they start to fall off. 2 HP on Calyx. This should be an ENCE round, meaning most likely, Snoz, at this point, that's going to be a 9-6 half. That's a big half.
Well, when you factor in as well the pistol round loss for ENCE, to get 9 rounds after conceding the pistol is definitely something to be proud of. If you minus the pistol and the conversion rounds from Space Soldiers, this could have been a 12-3 on paper, but they did win the pistol, and they have the reward for it here. A decent showing so far. And with 25 seconds left, the bomb dropped outside connector, X7, and Sergey should be an easy round win, and it is. 1 shot to the body, and Calyx goes down 9-6, and ENCE looking poised to make this one a 2-0 if they can win the second off pistol.
It looked good, right? It was a whole lot better, obviously, than what we saw early on from them in Nuke. They're definitely awake. They've definitely sort of carried that over. Alu's popping off all over the gaff. Everyone looks effective. Questionable round at one point where they was trying to go for the cheaper play. But, you know, whatever. It worked out. They still dominated the half, and that's the main point. I mean, they manhandled Space Soldiers on Mirage when they're on the T-side.
Yeah, when you think of Space Soldiers, obviously formerly Cobblestone, Cash especially, Mirage is up there. Their Inferno's decent as well. So to do this versus a team like Space Soldiers with the caliber of players that they have as well in terms of individual skill, to see how good Aerial has been so far in this best of 3, very, very impressive for me. Maybe even, obviously I'm not going to say a breakout performance because obviously he was very good as well at the minors. However, coming into this matchup, coming into this this whole qualifier essentially, what is it, 2, 3 best of 3 wins and you booked your ticket to IEM Chicago. Obviously it's only 1 team, I believe, coming through the EU qualifier as it is the NA qualifier as well. And with a very stacked qualifier as it is, you need all players from ENCE performing if they want to topple over your Gambits, topple over your Norths as well.
Yeah, it's going to be a hard-fought fight for either of these sides that want to actually make it through, but they've got a good chance, especially if you think about the fact that they were that close at the minor, they had a good run. Maybe this could be a bit of a better affair for them.
It was interesting, actually. Ali said in an interview, he said he felt like the fact that they had the best of 3 win over Mouse Sports at Cologne was more of being blessed with a curse. The reason being is, going into the minor, teams done so much more preparation, more homework onto ENCE because they knew they were a team to be formidable, to be scared of. And because of that, more teams came prepared, more teams were ready for them. And Alu thought maybe if they didn't have the upset win at Cologne, they could have made it to the major.
It's very true. You make yourself a target for inspection, and Paz right now trying to be a smooth criminal as he wanted to get the opening frag on the board. Was able to get that first blood. Continuing on though, his squad deal a little bit of damage, leaving them with the advantage. It just comes down to Sergey. 1 man left in a 1 versus 3. Attempting to try and pick this one up as he is going to go for the bomb plant. Gets it planted down as the retake comes in from the rear as well. Major will be slowly tiptoeing up. You got the quick face. They do spot him out and get a slight read. Tries to adjust, but it doesn't matter. Xantares will find the quick flick. That's the wallbang headshot. And the 7th round now for Space Soldiers. They get a pistol. Much needed.
You say they've got a pistol. They've got 2 so far.
Yeah. Well, they are an effective team on the pistols. That's the thing. You can never really count them out because all of these players perform so well in rounds when they only have the Eagles. And that is because of how outrageous they are with pistols.
It's very true. Very true indeed. Quite a quiet game actually coming out from X7. He was the star of the show along with Aerial in the last map. And Aerial has kept that form up into the second map as well. But 9-7 here. Still going to be the advantage for ENCE going forward. And speaking of advantage, they're going to be trying to use that advantage towards the east side as they flood through Palace or flood into the crosshair of Calyx.
The Famous, just overwhelming waterfall there. Will kill everyone. Aerial eventually gets the bomb down. Going to try and get out of there. Can't skedaddle. Just instead skidies, as he will be on the floor. And that is going to be a bomb defuse for Xantares as well, giving them the 8th round. Beautiful little PT50 entry, though.
It was good. Obviously, 3 kills found with the FAMAS. And they still managed to get the bomb planted in both rounds. They got the bomb planted in the pistol, bomb planted on their eco as well, which means they will have enough cash to maybe go for an AWP. Instead, though, going to be going for the full rifle buy. 5 AKs and 5 sets of full utility. 2 flashbangs, smoke, Molotov across the board. But what are they going to do with it? So far, players going outside the A site. Could be an A execution early on. But Calyx, Engen as well, charging in towards middle, trying to see if they can apply the pressure early on towards ENCE.
Huge amount of damage done early on. Actually, not too much. It looked like they would have been able to do a little bit more. Just rolls in. Big tag, though. Major comes through, kills Aerial, and Tars with the crossfire can hold the angle. Surge is the only one with a bit of an upset kill. But even then, it's quickly stomped out by Major, and you're just left with Alu and Alexib.
Very, very potent crossfire there from Major and Xantares towards the A site, catching it. Ooh, in a bit of a convoluted concession. But Alexib finds the kill in towards Palace. Does give a chance now for ENCE into this round with 1:05 seconds left on the clock. They are down a man. However, into the 2 versus 3, they have a chance. Bomb in towards ramps, they can try to retrieve that. Obviously, Alexib trying to go in towards T-spawn. But it is going to be anticipated to have a player come through middle as well. So awkward scenarios here for ENCE as they are split up. Alu caught from behind. And now we're still down to Alexib in the 1 versus 3. Has 40 seconds to work with though, Jack.
Does have time, but does he really have the ability to win this round right now? The crossfire is there, the flashbang comes over. Engen missing all of those shots, just peppering around him as he sprays an outline. But luckily, he will get the kill in the end, and that brings down ENCE, toppling this game into actually an even scoreline, 9-9 apiece. And no cash for ENCE means this could be Space Soldiers getting an advantage now and really starting off that CT side in tremendous fashion.
Only going to be 2 sets of Kevlar invested into by ENCE onto Aerial and Sergey. Apart from that, 3 smokes for the A site. Most likely stairs, jungle, CT. Pretty the typical smokes execution coming in towards the A site. Calyx with the first frag. Second as well, as he's going to be lining up these easy peasy kills. But as I say, that does go 2 for 1, eventually going to be traded out towards CT. So if the bomb does go down for ENCE, it will mean extra cash to play with going into the next buy round. If they can get a kill in towards CT as well as the bomb is planted for them there, Jack. Maybe this could be a chance for ENCE into the retake.
Possibly. Sergey and Alu that remain. Sergey is going to be able to find 1 kill. Goes out for a little bit more. Looked like it possibly could have been a hat-trick there as well, but even if 2 of you try and tackle Xantares, you're going to have a very hard task. He is a big man to overthrow. And this is more like Xantares. 20 frags picked up, just dominating his way through, cutting down everyone swiftly.
Counter-terrorists win.
Double digits. 4 Space Soldiers will be heading to the 20th round. And now the buy coming in from ENCE. Constantly able to find the bomb plants. It's just the after plants where things seem to go all in favor of Space Soldiers. But opt for Alu. And maybe that's the defining factor going forward, as he was a staple of their CT side defense to gain 9 buy round wins on their CT side. So far, passive plays from ENCE towards middle. Not going to be going for the set mid play early on. We have got Major there behind the Molotov. Sorry, behind the smoke. Oh, speaking of the Molotov, though, we'll be burning 7 alive. So, man advantage for Space Soldiers early on in rather an unexpected scenario.
Yep, just burnt him to a crisp. Just left his ashes on the ground. Let's see where they're going to go from here then. As ENCE are just down to 4 members. Spread fairly thin right now. as they are going to attempt to regroup, most likely go for this split pincer play in towards the A site into the late round, but that's when Xantares can come into effect. He's going to have domain of mid. You got the close angle there from Calyx as well. They've got support, but Alu actually punishes Xantares, gets off the pot shot, lands it on him, takes him down, but is he ready for the push from short? That is going to be the point where he could get cut off, Snods. And on the bomb site, things aren't going too fantastically. Luckily, Alexib and Sergey are able to work together, find the entries now, and they can start to work their way back around as they're going to push in and start to swarm.
Start to swarm indeed as ENCE are close together here. 2 versus 2. They have no smoke though to shroud their vision towards CT, which should mean Major will be spotting them out, but a fast refrag there from Alexib means CT is now in the hands of ENCE for the after planting, exactly where Sergey is planting for. Engen coming in towards stairs, could have the heightened angle to catch Sergey off guard, or maybe not, as the flashbang will allow for the transition of positions. Both players now in towards CT, as Engen has the odds stacked up against him. First peek goes to the phase, on the turn. But the last doesn't. 10 to 10 ENCE. Reset the cash now against Space Soldiers, as now Paz, Engen, Xantares can buy. But it doesn't look too affluent here for Major and Calyx going forward. And with that cash issue, they're going to be throwing in the pause.
10 to 10. It's all tied up. It's been brought back into a very close affair. And it's interesting how this game's been developing. Alu, you still got the AWP to play with. They do have much better economy in terms of what Space Soldiers have. We do have the pause coming out as well, obviously giving that last little bit of time to readjust and work out where it goes from here. But this is close, Nods. We're getting into the later stages of this game. This is where really you start to see if this can be made or braid. Made or braid? They're going to start braiding each other's hair. Made or broken.
If you're into that, then fair play.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, it'd be a good time, be a good bonding experience for the team. Could help the team.
Do you reckon you could braid your beard?
Possibly. We can try later if you want.
I mean, I don't know if I wouldn't have the skills for that. We need a makeup lady that could do it.
Can you braid me?
Excuse me. So, 10 to 10. However, when you look at context, that's the first round that ENCE have actually won on their second half. If they get reset here, maybe Space Soldiers are going to be running away with the second map, as they are going to be going for an aggressive set play in towards ramp. Calyx here with the aggressive angle with the Desert Eagle. Mid flash as well from Xantares. Doesn't spot any bodies from ENCE just yet. So default coming out from both teams. Mid control in the favor of ENCE. They can smoke off window, smoke off towards top of short. Contain control of connector, and with that, get the map going in their favor as Calyx leaves ramp. Instead falls back to a more passive angle towards the default site, and for Space Soldiers, it's not looking too good into this round here. ENCE, if they go for a split towards the B site, maybe if they can get a kill in towards connector, find the frag onto Major, or trade that kill, a split in towards the A site where Calyx is alone there with the Desert Eagle, definitely could be going in their favor, especially now when you see 3 players in towards T-spawn towards the A site. ENCE have a good read here.
Major needs to win this close quarters fight. Has to overpower him. Let's see if he's going to be able to keep himself headstrong. Pushes in. One man was blind, but the other played anti-flash. That was Aerial, who was able to just try and adjust. Find the frag. Has takes down Alexib. Aerial does strike again, though. His Reign of Terror is not being stopped, even when he gets caught between 2 men. Eventually, he will fall short. X7 gets the bomb down, and you're in a close affair. It's a very, very tight round now. 3 versus 2. Xantares slays X7, gives them the opening moments to attempt to push back in. Engen and Co know the location of one man. They've spotted out Sergey up towards Palace there, launching the Molotov to block the angle. They don't have any more utility though, just flashes, Nods. They can't smoke off ramp. Alu pushes in, misses the adjustment. They now need to peek at the same time and try and go for this as the bomb's being defused. He has to hold it, has no real other option. And Alu with the AWP will just cause annihilation.
It's the dream for any AWPer to be in an after-plant position versus a team that has no utility, no smokes to block off your vision, no Molotovs to deny the peek, and no flashbangs to blind you up. Instead, he can go for the repeat time and time again. He even missed a few shots there, but still wins ENCE the round. And with that, wins ENCE the lead in terms of numbers on the board, 11 to 10. As we see the eco coming out from Space Soldiers. USPs across the board of $2,000 left across the board, which does mean No AWP coming out for Space Soldiers into the next buy round. They still don't have enough cash for it. Then again, obviously, whenever we cast Space Soldiers, we always say Space Soldiers is a team that doesn't need to rely on the AWP. They can play very, very potently with the 5 rifles.
Yeah, they don't mind it. They're not really against it, obviously. At times you saw Engine sort of pick it up now and then, and it would be quite useful for them. But it's more maps like Cash at most we ever really see it. It's sort of been toned down a lot. ENCE just able to overrun. Very, very easy round for them there. That gives them 12. They now have 2 rounds over Space Soldiers, and it's looking like it could start to spiral, especially if they build up that economy and get themselves into a good position. Alexia with a Mac 10. Still just going to be keeping that and hoping to try and cause some mischief potentially. The rest of Space Soldiers just bringing out the M4s. No AWP, no real utility over the just initial smokes and flashes. You don't have any HEs, you've only got 1 Molotov. And look at the tempo. Very fast play. Expecting a flash there, it seems like Aerial just wasn't ready for that. Major takes him down. Calyx comes through an Alexia. Alu, luckily enough in close range, pops the head off of Paz and looks to continue the damage whilst this firing squad of a team are just unloading on anyone that dares to defy them. It's only Engin left. He's trapped in a 1v3 and he's about to be sniped down, hit straight ripped through by Alu.
Seems like ENCE have found their footing in the second half. 13-10 as a pause once again going to be called for by Space Soldiers, as not only are they running out of pauses here, Jack, they're running out of ideas as well. And to add another ad-lib to that, they're running out of cash. $3,000 across the board. They haven't got enough to go for the buy. Instead, they may just have to take this round on the chin. Go for maybe a quasi-buy, Deagles, CZs, maybe some Kevlar, some light utility. But apart from that, there should be a light buy from Space Soldiers, maybe even the 14-10 scoreline for ENCE, as they're seeming rather likely to get a 2-0 here, which is unexpected. I really thought this was going to be a 2-1. When you look at the recent performances from both teams, you can argue it's very similar. Obviously, ENCE had the upset at Cologne versus Mouse Sports. They failed to qualify for the major qualifier. Space Soldiers are going to the major qualifier. In terms of recent performances, it is 50-50. But I guess it's whoever's better on the day. And today, it's going to be Calyx finding a kill with the Desert Eagle. Eventually going to be treaded out those towards triple boxes as the smokes do quarantine the site, all in favor of ENCE.
Okay. Still getting those kills as he just trip walks his way across the bomb site. Takes down anyone that dares to try and stand up against him. It's all on Xantares now, a 1 versus 3. He's up ramp, questioning what he actually wants to even do into this round, as this is going to be a 14th for ENCE. Winning this round might have just saved them the entire game, really, and set in stone them to try and take it as the victor. Remember as well, Snods, this is the second map. ENCE won Nuke. They were able to upset, take that win in overtime over what appeared to be a more dominant Space Soldiers from the early game. This would be a smooth 2-0.
Interesting enough, I wonder what the score is between the Danish derby of Fragsters versus North. Obviously, if this is a 2-0, then it would be the winner of that best of 3 up against the winner of this one, which is seeming to be, so far, ENCE. Currently, it's 1-0 in maps to North, and it's 9-6.5 in favor of North as well versus Fragsters. So it seems likely North win that one 2-0 potentially, and we could be seeing an ENCE versus North best of 3 coming up next. But still got 2 more rounds to be found for by ENCE, and the AWP from Sergey, of all people, with the best spawn and with the best peak, wins the duel versus Major. Man advantage, which gets completely thrown out of the wind. Calyx has found the reply, but it's Aerial once again towards ramp to still deliver the damage against Space Soldiers. 3 versus 2 here, as X7 still coming out towards ramp, isolates Xantares towards stairs, and may just find themselves match point.
You've just got Engin left, right? A 1 versus 3. 1 versus none. He's dead. That is going to be the end of him as he gets just slain by the AWP. 10-15. ENCE just soaring through this game now. They only need 1 more round to pick it up. The Space Soldiers, they don't especially have the best buy to attempt to go to combat, really. I mean, you've got 2 Famises there. Not even that much utility at all. 1 player with 2 flashes, 1 with 1, 2 smokes across the entire team. You're not going to be able to slow down ENCE. They can try and just play this however they want. They can force the situation. They have completely broken Space Soldiers at this point, Stods.
broken indeed. Well, they do have a decent buy, so maybe their morale isn't quite broken just yet. I'm not sure. This is quite hard to tell. Well, Zentara is going for the aggressive play towards underpass, but unfortunately the aggression isn't met with any sort of a reward. Instead, quite the disadvantage for his team. Does land the headshot on Twix 7, but a headshot isn't quite enough here. 5 versus 4. The star player for Space Soldiers taken out the equation in just the first 30 seconds of the round. Over though, Jack. Major up close here towards middle. Could have a flashbang from Paz, and this could be it.
Ooh, Alu with a kill on Major. He's just able to get that adjustment with the AWP, takes him down very easily, the further peak as well. Aerial just annihilates Paz, gets a simple kill on him. They've got control towards mid now. Surely this is it. This has got to be a 16-10. Space Soldiers should be walking their way through this matchup with absolute ease. There we have it. That's the end of Engin and the end of Space Soldiers. Easy for ENCE as Winland pick up a victory here, Snods. A 2-0 versus Space Soldiers.
Yeah, 2-0, 16-10, and a 19-17, I believe it was, scoreline. Something close like that. It was an overtime win, let's say, on Nuke for ENCE, and a 16-10 one on Mirage as well. So a 2-0. Not what we were expecting.
No, we thought it'd be a 2-1. We thought it'd go a lot closer than this. Obviously, the second map, a whole ton quicker in the first one as well. That even seemed like that was going to be a rapid game, but towards the end was able to go on a little bit longer. We have the updated graphic bracket now.
It is a graphic, though, isn't it? The bracket,
you know,
yeah. Updated
thing.
Graphic of the bracket.
Oh, there we go. We now have North score on there as well.
Yeah, HOTV not confirmed. 2-0 for North, obviously. 2 Danish teams. One Danish team's far more established than the other. Even the Fragsters is definitely on the rise. A team to look out for in the future. Going to DreamHack Montreal, obviously famously had the 16-1 win on Train versus VP, but since then, still showing prowess online. North versus ENCE then will be our next matchup. Obviously, we have the other best of 3s going on. Valiance versus Gambit. And Avant-Garde beating Heroic 2-0, Jack. Wow, definitely would not expect that.
No, that wasn't the result I was expecting from that group either. Just storming their way ahead. So that's a shame for Heroic there, really. A big loss to take.
I think actually there's 2 teams that qualify, Jack.
Yeah, I think EU gets 2, NA gets 1.
Yeah, 2 from EU, then 1 from NA. Yeah, so obviously, upper bracket, you win 2 more best of 3s, you're through to Chicago. If you go through the lower bracket, cruel. Wow, 1, 2, 3, 4 best of 3s. Now for Space Soldiers, Fragsters, and Heroic, if they want a chance of booking their ticket to Chicago.
Yeah, so a lot more of a grueling affair for the teams that lose out in that first round here, really the upper bracket. Not a fantastic way to start the run, as obviously 2 spots up for grabs. It's going to be a hard-fought fight. This isn't going to be easy for anyone. But our next game, obviously going to be coming up soon, should be a pretty tasty one, hopefully. It's been a good start so far today. Obviously, a quick 2-0 there from ENCE as they storm their way ahead. Can they keep that going, or is there upsets to come from North? We'll find out after the break.